Today is Friday, May 30th. That means it's World Series time. And you know what that means. For one, it means the list everywhere we go will be a little bit longer. It also normally means that there will be more games at each location, and those games will probably be a little bit softer. It means the city will be buzzing with everything World Series of Poker for the next few months. But the most important part, especially for me, is outside. It's hot as fuck.
Feel the energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max, confidence is on a million. Headed to the top, cause I'm able and I'm willing. Treat calm like my capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars are aligned, I can see the signs. I know it's my time, on my grind, putting overtime. Spots solidified, I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait your turn in line. Difference is y'all play to win, I want the world in my palm. I'm breaking now, I'm in my zone. In the clouds, I'm set in stone. Give me the crown, I deserve the throne. The greatest is history in the making. Through all the pain, blood, sweat, and tears. Survive the flame, conquer my fears. My time to reign, I am the heir. The greatest is history in the making. Been the best, y'all just witness it. While others out here wishing it, I knew my time was pivoting. Sacrifice and discipline, I'm giving.
So, James,
Oh, Bradley, what's up, buddy?
well, just getting to dinner.
This you?
Who's out there?
Competition make excuses, we making statements. All the work we put in, we deserve 1,000 praises. My sacrifices will be.
So here's the thing. Today, as in right now, June 3rd, I'm sitting down to edit this footage from a session I played just 4 days ago. And after watching it back, frame by frame, chip by chip, I gotta be honest. I have absolutely no idea what happened. But hey, that's never stopped me before, so let's just try to make sense of this chaos. Let me paint this scene. The poker room, packed. And I don't mean busy. I mean elbow to elbow, oxygen is a premium, everyone who's ever watched Rounders is here, kind of packed. You've got your regs, you got the players from LA, you got the Texas gamblers, you got the WSOP dreamers who flew in with a suitcase full of hoodies and hope. Did I mention it was packed? Now the session kicks off, and it ain't exactly fireworks. I was catching some decent hands pre-flop, nothing too spicy, but definitely playable. The problem? Everything else. Either I'm staring down a 3-bet I can't tango with, or I'm just whiffing the flop. Every hand was an invitation to open, fold, and repeat. A lot of folding. An embarrassing amount of folding.
About for ages. Now it's time that I show the world what a king is. In the making. History in the making.
All right, so let's get back to the action. Specifically, a hand I got myself into. Against my better judgment. The straddle is on, and like a moth to a high variance flame, I open it up with ace king offsuits of $50. I know, I know. Unfortunately, this is textbook stuff. The straddler is the only one that comes along. We go heads up to a flop of ace of hearts, jack of diamonds, deuce of clubs. Now, this is one of those flops where I'm cautiously optimistic. I've got top pair, top kicker, but it's ace king offsuit. Let's not throw a parade just yet. He checks, I fire off a crisp $30 continuation bet, and he calls. Now I'm thinking, maybe he's hanging on with a weaker ace, maybe it's a jack, but he's still an unknown. I haven't been in this session that long, so maybe he's just a guy that floats with third pair. Then the turn comes. Deuce of diamonds. Pairs the board and adds a flush draw. And a tiny bit of drama. He checks again, and I decide to size up. $80, or about half the pot. Aim straight at any ace that's not mine. He tanks. And for a second, I swear I thought he was going to peel one more. But he folds. Victory? Yeah. Satisfying? I guess. Memorable? Barely. But hey, I'll take the small wins because in this room sometimes, that's all you get. We're about 30 minutes into the session when this next hand unfolds. The under the gun player limps. The low jack? He raises to $40 while getting a massage. And yes, that detail matters. Because when someone's mid-back rub, they're usually not reaching for the bottom of their range. This is likely strength, or at least perceived strength. Just as the masseuse is digging into his shoulder blades, I peek down at two aces. Oh, hello. The button casually flats and I decide it's time to crank it up a bit. I make it $180 to go. If the under the gun limper was setting a trap, he's about to find out that he has really bad timing. But honestly, my eyes are on the low jack. The button? Well, his flat screams that he doesn't have much, so I'm not really thinking about him. The under the gun player folds. My target, massage and all, decides to come along. The button folds too, and we're heads up. Deuce, king, 4, rainbow. Gorgeous. Dry as a Las Vegas sidewalk. I go ahead and continue for $200, making a very polite request for him to have a king. There's no sets to sweat. There's no real two-pair combos either. I'm living the dream until he folds. No drama, no tension.
Idols from the 90s, man, they got accusations.
All of them.
Everybody. Yeah. All my idols from the 90s, man. Going down. That's bullshit. Yeah,
Like all the music I listened to in the 90s, like they're all in jail or dead. Like everybody. No Michael, no Prince, no R. Kelly, no P. Diddy, no nobody. Okay, everybody's gone.
Whitney's gone.
Whitney's gone. Like they're all gone. Like it's
MC Hammer's still around, ain't he?
I guess he is still around.
Love MC Hammer. Hammer time. That was my boy.
MC Hammer. The session rolls on and is characterized by two things: a relentless parade of folds and a cruel streak of unluckiness. This hand? Well, I'm on the button and open it up with king 3 of diamonds. Yeah, it looks wide, but trust me, this is pretty standard. The only customer? The big blind. Heads up we go. The flop comes king, queen, 7, rainbow. I have top pair, but a trash kicker. The big blind checks, and now I'm at a crossroads. Sure, I could bet here, but if I'm firing with every half-decent pair, and firing when I miss entirely, then what am I checking? So here I split my kings and slide this super weak one into a check. The turn is the 5 of hearts. Still rainbow-ish and not terrifying. Now the big blind checks again, and I start doing some poker math in my head. If he's got a queen, he might think he's ahead. If he's got something like pocket 6s, he still might think he's ahead, but more than likely he's got air and none of this even matters. Either way, I'm done giving free cards. I fire $30, enough to price out most of the draws. He calls. The river is the queen of hearts. Well, that sucks. That queen pairs the board and completes the backdoor flush draw. He checks again. Now, I'm kind of cooked. I'm not beating any king with a decent kicker. I'm not beating a queen, and I'm not beating a flush. And I'm not betting into a pot hoping to get called by what exactly? Pocket fours? I check. He shows me a flush. And I'm reminded of this timeless truth in poker. The math behind flush draws only matters if you plan on missing your flush draw. Here, the hijack opens to $30, the cutoff calls, and I look down at deuce-5 of spades in the big blind. Not exactly aces, but it's suited, I'm closing the action, and I've been known to get a little adventurous. I toss in the call. The flop comes 3 of spades, jack of spades, 5 of clubs. I've hit bottom pair and pick up a front door flush draw. I check, the hijack checks, and the cutoff tosses out a small bet, $20. I call, the hijack calls, and now we're off to a turn. The turn is the deuce of diamonds. All right, now we're cooking. I improve to 2 pair, but it's an awkward spot as my 2 pair brings in some straights. I check, and surprisingly, this checks around. The river is the 6 of spades. Bingo. Flush gets there. With the turn checking through, it's time I turn my defense into offense. I lead for $50, just trying to get a little value. The hijack calls pretty quickly, and the cutoff bows out. I flip it over, and the hijack gives me a look, then tables ace-4 of diamonds. Yep, the old wheel draw with 0 spades. My guess is that he was going to check raise the turn, but when the cutoff checked it back, he got screwed. Either way, I'll take it. Every now and again, the good guys get to drag one in. So this one starts with a good old limp-fest. Low jack, cutoff, small blind, and I complete in the big blind with jack 5 of hearts. Yeah, it's trash. But it's suited trash, and I'm in the big blind, so... The flop comes 9 of hearts, 4 of hearts, 6 of spades. I flop a flush draw and just enough backdoor chaos to stay interested here. The small blind and I check. Then the low jack decides that he's had enough of this passive nonsense and throws out $40. And guess what? Everyone calls. All 4 of us continue to the turn. The turn is the jack of diamonds. Now I have top pair, which might be good, but everything just feels weird. This street checks all the way through. So everyone's either slow playing or scared. Either way, this pot is bloating. The river brings the jack of clubs. Trips. Just like that. The small blind checks to me, and now it's my turn to get spicy. I lead for $80, just trying to get some value from a pair that feels safe because the jack paired. The low jack folds, but the cutoff, well, he wakes up with a $210 raise. The small blind folds, and now it's back on me. This could be a better jack, or it could be a slow play boat. But I'm holding trip jacks, and this pot kind of has that limp into chaos energy. I make the call. He doesn't snap show, and there's no insta-muck. He just pauses. And that kind of silence that tells me I've won.
order of Her Majesty Queen Lily, Sovereign of Hearth and Hall, let it be known. The time has come for the Queen's presence to be honoured and her words to be heard. Children of the court, noble and bright, you are summoned without delay. Present yourselves before the throne. By the Crown's command, approach.
What in the hell? Who are these hard legs?
They are my royal guard.
Royal Guard? Oh, you are rich, rich. Let me hold $100.
Sit down, Ethan. I shall begin. 'Twas a straddled field, aye, a battlefield set before battle began. And who doth rise from yon low jack's seat but our gallant hero, bearing arms with the mighty queens?
Queens? Again? Ugh. Is this always about queens?
He doth raise to $50, bold and commanding. But lo, a procession of peasants follow. The hijack calls, the button calls, the big blind calls, and even the straddler. 5 to the flop, a true royal mess. Deuce of spades, 7 of hearts, 9 of diamonds. The board, a humble peasant's patchwork. The big blind and straddler check. How do you think our hero feels about this flop?
5 ways? Our hero should be afraid of this board.
Yet he fears not. 80, he declares. The hijack alone responds, slinking forward like a cat in shadow.
He probably has 7-4 offsuit. These guys never fold in straddled pots.
7-4 offsuit? What? That doesn't make sense. You are just saying random words.
With all other villains retreating, they see a turn. The 8 of diamonds. A whisper of danger, and our hero checks. A royal pause, a contemplative silence. The hijack? He begins his attack. $150? With duty to the crown and faith in the ladies, our hero calls. The river, 9 of hearts, pairs the board and thickens the air.
Another 9? Oh no.
Our hero checks once more. And the hijack unleashes a thunderous $320.
Please let him call. Please let him lose badly.
You are a menace, Rampage.
The queens, once proud and unchallenged, now look meek in the face of trip nines or cunning bluffs. And so, with heart heavy and stack lighter, the hero folds. Was it caution or cowardice? Valour or vulnerability?
Coward.
The answer, my sweetlings, lies not in the cards, but in the folding.
Yes, yes, this just made my day. Great story.
To make a good fold.
Yeah, I made a bold.
Yeah. Oh, a boat. You had 7s? Yeah. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Yeah.
Child, you have not been excused.
The hero lost. What more is there to say?
Well now, young Rampage, we are not done here, for in the very next hand, our hero, brave and bold, now under the gun, awakens again with 2 more radiant queens nestled sweetly in his hand.
Oh, brother.
Redemption.
I, young poker face Ash. With royal grace he lifts his voice. 20, he cries, a modest summons to arms. The hijack, a player not known for frolic nor frivolity, doth arise. 50, he declares with fire in his eyes and ambition in his soul. The table stills, the tension thickens like a well-stirred porridge. But lo, our hero, not content to merely call and cower, doth respond with a mighty 4-bet. 170, he counters, calm as a winter lake. For the hijack, fierce moments ago, now falters. He bows his head, gathers his pride, and folds. Just like that, the battle ends before a single card doth fall. The queens stand tall, untouched.
And our hero?
He scoops the spoils with barely a wrinkle in his robe.
It's still a net loss, you know.
My dear, sometimes the greatest triumphs are those won in silence.
Feels like it's been a minute since I've done a mid-session update here, but here we are. It's about 9 o'clock, still at the Bellagio. I'm up maybe $400 or $500, and I'm a little frustrated that I'm only up a little, like $400 or $500. I kind of feel like I should be up more. But then I think about the hands that I've gotten, and being up about $400 or $500 is good. It's like beyond good. It's great. That's more than $100 an hour. But I still feel kind of frustrated. Doesn't make any sense, but that's the truth. So we're going to go back in there. We're probably going to grind for a couple more hours, and we'll just see what happens. After coming back from the mid-session update, I couldn't really get anything going. In this hand, I'm on the button, and the cutoff opens to $30. I flat with 10-8 of diamonds. Nothing too wild, just looking to take a flop in position and maybe cause a little trouble if the board cooperates. The flop comes Jack of Hearts, 4 of diamonds, 10 of spades. Decent texture. He fires out $40. This could be a pair, maybe, or this could just be an airball trying to rep something. So I make the call. The turn brings the 7 of hearts. Now I'm getting a little better. My draw's live, and I have some additional thoughts. He checks, and I take the lead by throwing out $90. I want to apply some pressure and target all those weak jacks and tens that probably aren't liking life right now. But he calls. Now I'm thinking, is he slow playing something big, or just kind of hanging around with something marginal, hoping I shut it down? But then the river pairs the board, the 7 of clubs. Gross. This would be a card to shut it down. He checks again, and I take the hint. I check it back. There's really no need for me to torch chips into a river that really only gets me value from hands that probably aren't still around. He flips over King Jack offsuit. Yep, that'll do it. Top pair, good kicker. And he chose a patient line that paid off. It's not the end of the world, but still. His check call on the turn was just annoying enough to be correct. GG cutoff. You win this one.
Blocking my call.
You're gonna what?
You're blocking my call.
Did you want to call? You could have called. I wouldn't have mind. Call away. Yeah. Call away. So, after the mid-session update, let's just say the poker gods were in bully mode. You know the pattern. Open a string of halfway decent hands, Queen Jack offsuit, Ace 10 offsuit, hands with potential, but not the kind you want to go to war with. And what happens? Either nothing becomes of them, or I get 3-bet. And suddenly, I'm folding more than a laundromat on Dollar Wash Day. Then there's the other version. You finally find a real hand, something you're actually excited to play, only to see the action go open, 3-bet, 4-bet, before it's even your turn. And you're just sitting there, watching your playable hands get cold murdered by the chaos in front of you. I get 2 types of hands today. 5-8 offsuit, aces or queens. That's it. There's no in between.
Super premium.
It's like
9 deuce.
Queens, aces, aces, 5-8 offsuit.
It makes it really easy to play.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Fold,
yeah.
more money.
Yeah. Now look, in the big picture, these folds are fine. Correct, probably. But after the 19th time in a row, it starts to feel personal. Story checks out.
It's right in.
You start wondering if you got a kick me sign taped to the front of your chip stack. So that's where I'm at mentally when this next hand comes up. The under the gun player has straddled after the hijack has posted $10 to return to the game. I look down at Queen Jack suited in early position. I make it $50. The cutoff calls and the straddler tosses in the extra 30. 3 players to the flop. Ace of hearts, 6 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. Yeah, not the flop we drew up, but not a disaster either. The straddler checks. That ace-high board, that's my story. That's my range. Throw in a front door flush and a bunch of narrative creativity, and I fire $60. The cutoff gets this memo and exits. But the straddler, He lingers. The turn is the deuce of spades. It's a nothing card, a blank, unless he's got pocket deuces. And if that's the case, well, good for him and his perfect life. He checks again, and as I'm sitting here watching this footage back during editing, I can feel the heat rising. The frustration of this part of the session is with me still like a bad hangover. So what do? I ask myself this question. Do I want to shove my range advantage down his f***ing throat? And judging by the tone in my voice right now, you probably already know what I did. Yes. I bet $200. Pure pressure. No diamond, no pair, no problem. And if he calls here, I'm already gearing up to pull the trigger on the river. Diamond or not. But he folds. Just folds. So was it a good play by me? Honestly, I'll never know. But after the misery of the last dozen hands, this small uptick felt like a royal flush.
Ready to go home, baby. Is it even on? Oh shit!
This is your time. This is your time to shine.
My time when I'm
This
tired.
is it.
Every time you find me when I'm not looking my best, right? It's crazy.
All right, we're done. Session's over. Session is over. I should have left after the mid-session update, but okay, we're gonna make this quick because I want to get out of here. After the mid-session update, I probably should have just left. Because my card distribution got no better. In for 2K, out for 21.30. I don't even care if I say that out loud. Up $130. But you know what it is? I didn't play badly. I honestly didn't. I just didn't have cards to make more money than $130. But it's early. It's my day one of being down here for the World Series. We got a lot of days left, so stick with me. And if you like the vlog, leave me a comment. I'll probably respond, and I'll catch you next time. Probably tomorrow. Bye.